Hello everybody, I'm Paul Higgins along with Coach Rich Fisher, and welcome to this edition of Eagle Insider. Coach, a big game coming up this week with Mater Dei, of course, the second game of league season, but got to take you back to Orange Coast College. It was a fantastic game. As I mentioned in the highlights, it was a heartbreaker. I know your heart is still broken over that game. I think you guys did a lot of really good things that you should be proud of. I think, of course, Nick Barcelos had a fantastic game coming in for JT when JT got hurt in that first quarter. But now that you've had a couple days to sit back on that game, I know you flushed it out, but you still moving forward. How do you move forward knowing that still stings a little bit?
Good question.
Yeah.
You know, good question. It seems like we sit here every week and talk about all the great things we did, but the scoreboard doesn't dictate that. And you know, I'm proud. I told the team afterward, I said it's unfortunate that we play a game where the scoreboard determines success or failure, because in terms of the fight in the team, you know, I was super proud of them. We just have to find a way to, you know, be able, it's back-to-back weeks now where we've had 4th and 7, 4th and 8, and somehow, some way you got to convert those and get off the field and win the football game.
I know that you don't like to talk about injuries, no head coach does, but JT did get hurt in that first quarter. I watched him walk down the steps to the field at halftime, and he had every intention on hoping to go, but during warm-ups he couldn't go. How is he now, and can you shed any light on that?
Well, we're going to get him looked at. Doctors have already looked at him, but he'll get an MRI, excuse me, on his knee, and hopefully we'll know something better later in the week. But it was good for Nick to step up, and he did a heck of a job, and I think he ran for 150 yards on the night, so you know, we didn't lose a beat there. Obviously JT's a great player for us and a great leader for us, so when he went down, it was nice to see that somebody was prepared to step in and perform.
When Nick did do that, that was pretty amazing, because I was going to interview him after the game, but of course that didn't work out. And I was going to say he wouldn't know who this guy was, but I was going to tell him, Nick, you remind me of a guy named Larry Zonka, just straight ahead, right? I mean, he's a straight ahead runner. He doesn't totally get outside all the time, but boy, he can really take a tackler for a ride.
Yeah, he's a big physical back.
Yeah.
Obviously, JT presents a different element in terms of what we're doing. But I think that in terms of mindset and what we were trying to do and pound the football, obviously he's a hard guy to tackle, and you know, he wore those guys down pretty good.
Yeah, I know that you take losses very hard. Your coaching staff, no doubt. You guys are a team within a team on the coaching staff. Some days it's great, some days it's not. As a leader of a coaching staff, that guys that have played, some of them in the NFL, and play top college football, including yourself, how do you get back on track and flush the coaches out as well, as you mentioned it?
Well, you got to have a short memory.
Yeah.
You know, you move on to the next week, and you don't have time to cry over spilt milk, as they say. But I think it's important, just, you know, as coaches, just like players, you have to watch the film and look at yourself in the mirror and point the thumb and make sure that you're fixing exactly what maybe you messed up on. And you know, we take a lot of pride in giving the kids the best opportunity to succeed. You know, we can't run, can't tackle, can't block, can't do all those things, but we definitely can put them in good positions. And so we're constantly evaluating that, evaluating ourselves and the scheme and what we're doing. And obviously at the end of the day, like I said, somebody has to step up on that field and make a play, and believe that they're going to make a play, and have the courage to make a play. And you know, winning is a mindset, competing is a mindset, and we have to learn how to win.
So you've got a quarterback now that's had 6 games underneath his belt as a sophomore varsity starter. He's really settling into his own. How has your relationship changed with him since game 1 when we did this, now going into game 7?
Well, he's definitely grown leaps and bounds in our system, and just the confidence of understanding where to go with the football and what the defense is giving you, and things are starting to slow down for him, yeah, which is a telltale sign of playing games and having experience and doing all those things. But I've said a lot of times to our team, the difference between good and great is, you know, you don't just run plays, you run an offense. And there was a specific point in the game where we were running the ball. We had called a running play down on the goal line, and he checked out of the running play based on the numbers in the box and threw a one-on-one touchdown to Chase. And so that was a pivotal point in the game, and kind of from a coaching perspective, you really start to see that he's understanding how to run the offense and get us in the right place.
Coach, you mentioned belief. The big elephant in the room right now, of course, is Mater Dei. But you have to convince your team that they have to believe that they can beat Mater Dei. Why suit up otherwise? Your message to them this week, and then how do you handle Mater Dei?
Well, I mean, we've played some good teams, and nobody's invincible.
Right.
Being great, and that program has been great for a while now, is just that. It's a mindset. And I think that anytime you're a good player and you believe you're great, good players become better, and really good players become exceptional. And it's no different than any aspect in life. Starting a company or wanting to be successful or becoming successful is just that. It's a mindset. So they're not superhuman. They put their pants on just like us, but we have to meet their intensity. We have to meet their belief. And when you step on the field, you have to believe that you're going to defeat the guy in front of you and compete at a high level. I think we proved that last year, playing Bosco. Had every opportunity to win that game, and they were the top 1, 2, 3 team, I think, in the nation. So it's very doable. It just comes down to believing that you're good and executing what we're asking you to do.
I know you don't want to expose your game plan, but do they have weaknesses on their team that maybe are highlighted as you get ready for this game, or what are some of the things that you think you might be able to get on them, if any, at this point?
Well, I don't necessarily know. Great teams, they're just that. They're really, really good. They're good on special teams. They're good at the skill positions. They're good up front on both sides of offense and defensive line. So it's not a matter of exposing weakness as much as it is trying to put yourself in position based on what you see conceptually and then being able to execute. So, I believe in this team. I believe in these players. Even though our record maybe doesn't show it, this is a good football team, and we've gone toe-to-toe with every single person that we play, and I expect that we'll do the same on Friday night. I
was talking about you the other day when you came in, and I said, Coach, you've played 6 games, and the losses of 4 losses, the total points in those losses is 24. That's it. 24 points separate wins and losses over that. So that's pretty amazing. We want to make sure that you go out and support the Eagles Friday night at the Santa Ana Bowl. It's always a great place to go see a game. Of course, Monarchs taking on the Eagles, and we wish you the best of luck. I always say, Coach, that it's easy to come in here and do this interview, as I've mentioned before, when you win. But to come in and do it week in and week out, when sometimes they do lose, Coach Fisher, a class act, I've never had to ask him twice. He's always shown up and done this interview. So great representation of Santa Margarita, great representation of the boys on the football team as a leader. Coach, thank you once again. Appreciate you doing this each and every week. This is Eagle Insider. We will see you again next week.
Maury Polish.